Thank you for your time.
All set.
Hey guys, how you doing? We section 1 with 4. I'm Cedric, this is Skyler, Chris, William, and Mike. So the content collection tab, as you all know, is a very useful tool. It facilitates teamwork, and it allows the storage of file up to 1 gigabyte. As now, only the College of Information and the College of Medicine have access to the content collection tab. The plan is that all the students at Florida State will have access to the content collection tab probably by next year. But the problem before that is, there's a lot of complaint about usability. It's not really easy to access all the features and everything. So to know exactly what to fix, we conducted a survey. So we interviewed 65 students from the LIS3201 class on November 8, 2006, and we came up with a lot of problems that we're trying to fix. So we came up with 3 main recommendations, which is improve the navigation, integrate the calendar, and set permission to the work folder. So the rest is going to talk about the finding and analysis, talk about the 3 main recommendations, and he's going to do the conclusion.
So for the findings and analysis, like we said, we surveyed the group. First off, we started just in our own small group of going through and familiarizing ourselves with the content collection and just kind of getting an idea of what we thought of it, how to use it and everything. And we quickly identified a few features that were lacking. Like you said, it's a good product. There's just a few things that still need to be fixed. But it doesn't really matter what we think, it matters what everyone else thinks. So that's why we conducted that survey. We did a survey of 65 students in Dr. Andrews' technology class, and we asked them the following question. How familiar are you with the content collection? How easy do you think it is to use? How effective do you feel the current navigation is? What do you like about the content collection, and what don't you like about the content collection? One of the first things that we looked at were the dislikes, trying to figure out what we can improve here. From the survey, we took a look and we came up with, these are some of the more common dislikes with the content collection. The first one that you see there is it's hard to use. So if something's hard to use, no one's going to really use it, and it's kind of pointless, because if it's not being used, then why do you have it? Second thing that we saw a problem with was navigation, and then interface and design issues. So huge problem with content collection is usability. Obviously, usability is of the utmost importance. Second to that is the navigation, which kind of falls into the same category. If 90% of the students surveyed said it was hard to use, and 86% said the navigation is hard to use, and these are IT students, then what's this going to be like when it starts being used throughout the whole college with people who maybe aren't as familiar with technology? So what can we do to fix it? And then Chris and William are going to talk about some more recommendations.
All right, so our recommendations here. Improved navigation, obviously, since 86% of the IT students that we surveyed said that the navigation was just confusing. And our second recommendation is a improved calendar feature. This is a new feature that we came up with. We thought it was cool that we linked the calendar in Blackboard with one in the content collection, so that teachers can put their assignments in the calendar, links to their assignments and when due dates are. So you can just click on the due date and the assignment will come up and it'll remind you when your assignments are due and everything. We thought that would be a really cool feature. And the web folder is a great feature, but we thought that the permission settings inside the web folder, there really are none. So if we could improve that so you can use a Windows interface entirely with the content collection system, then it would be a lot easier for most people to use. All right, the improved navigation feature. Here's the current navigation. Now, everyone knows it's kind of hard to use when you're getting way into folders, like with Vander's Technologies. I don't know how many people are in there, but when he made you do the assignment where you had to make all these folders and you're going through, you kind of lose track of where you're at if you're going deep into your folders. Now, our improved a prototype navigation. This is just a prototype that we came up with. We moved the bar that was here up here. So, you know, we could change around the icons if we wanted, but really we're just showing a prototype of what we think should happen. Now, this is the best feature right here in our opinion. You can see exactly where you're at, your location right here, and your folders and subfolders. When you're opening folders, it'll dynamically open up for you so you can see exactly where you're at. And then your location right here, we thought that was good and we'll keep with that, and then the rest of this looks good. So really this is the main part of our prototype navigation where you can see exactly where you're at.
Like Chris said, with the calendar module, it would be easier if the teachers could upload their assignments and then post links to due dates to our calendars so we could see a side-by-side picture per each class of how our schedule is going to work through the week and through the month so we can schedule our time more efficiently. Like for the Blackboard calendar module, this is all we have right now. It's a small box that we never see anything appearing because none of our teachers or professors ever try to use it. And if we go in deeper into the Blackboard module, this is what we normally see is a completely blank screen of the calendar. So we like to enable the teachers to upload the assignments. The teachers could upload their entire syllabus, which they could dynamically update through the course to adapt with the changing needs of the teachers and the students. We don't like I said, we were able to see their classes in a side-by-side so we could schedule our time more accordingly. It would also be neat if we could integrate a global content collection calendar for FSU and all of its different schools to post updates about important events. And one thing that we could do to fix this, to help make it easier use, is to integrate the module with Microsoft Outlook, so you could actually type in your information into Outlook and then use Outlook to update the calendar. This is an example of what it could like if we saw our class schedule side by side. A little difficult to read.
All right. The last recommendation was the web folder permissions. The web folder is, you know, as I showed a few slides before, there's a web folder button right about here, and you click it. One of the main recommendations we actually saw too is that have it work with not only Internet Explorer, but Firefox and Safari and other things that are popular browsers like that. Right now it only works in Internet Explorer, but that's kind of good too because then it'll give you, you know, a look and feel of Windows there. So it's a great idea, but we can definitely improve it. Now here's what it looks like now when you click on web folder and it brings it up inside of Internet Explorer. And when you right click to do permissions, this is what comes up, nothing. You can't change anything. You can look at some important things like location and size and such, but as everyone knows, permissions are a very important part of content collection. So if you're trying to collaborate and share files and you want to use the Windows interface to do so, you can't do that at all. So there's no option in the properties at all, and we said we should add the ability to change permissions in properties. Here's a sort of a prototype that we came up with. If you were to right click on it, it would come up with something like this where you can share the folder, you know, with whoever you want. You can hit permissions, you know, share with multiple people, and do comments if you want. So it's really a lot easier to share if you're more familiar with the Windows interface.